Hi friends and fellow earth angels, it's Gladys and welcome back to my weekly card reading, and this spread will cover February 17th to the 23rd. So I feel like I want to lighten the mood this week. I feel like things have been kind of heavy, lots of growth and expansion and change and shifts, and I feel like I want to get into more of a lighter, playful energy, but we'll see what the cards unfold. So I have my Ganesh here. Ganesh is the remover of obstacles. I love to work with all the deities, all the beings, all the ascended masters. I pretty much say I'll take it all. So for the cards this week, I'm going to be using, starting with Keepers of the Light Oracle cards, Oracle of Angels. These are a new deck for me. Work Your Light Oracle cards. These are awesome. Then we are going to be falling into the full moon this week. So I have the Moonology deck. And then finally, I'm going to end it with the Oracle of the Unicorns. I cannot say enough of good things about this deck. I love it. So let's open space and begin. So I want to start by calling in God, Source, Creator of the universe, all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, all holy beings of light, and any other light beings that want to assist. And I'm going to ask that these cards and the messages that come forth be for all of our best and highest good and the best and highest good of all concerned. All right, friends, let's get into it. So let's start with the Keepers of the Light. What guide being wants to work with us this week? Oh, let's pick this one. And we're going to start with Lord Shiva. And his message is transcendence. It says, rise up. Honor your inner force, and steps are being given. Dance with the universe. Oh my gosh, friends. So, God, there's so much in this card. So, let me see. Rise up. So, we are being asked to stand fully in our power. This word transcendence, that alone for me means an unfoldment, a shift in vibration. So many of you have gone through such a metamorphosis that you cannot possibly go back to the person that you were. So I was having this conversation with one of my mentors this week. And sometimes I fall into the trap of like, what's the point of all this? Why am I putting myself through this? You know, the spiritual journey isn't always unicorns and rainbows. You know, the more evolvement, I guess, of a soul, I'm trying to say, the more of your spiritual evolution, the more needs to come up of your shadow stuff, the things you need to work on, conditionings, old beliefs, old ways of doing things. And I feel like for the last few years, so many of us have been in this metamorphosis. And from what I'm getting is like people are tired. But it will all be worth the, let's say, quote unquote, work that you're doing to get yourself to a higher level of vibration. So spirit, and this may not resonate with everybody, but spirit or the divine right now is there's so many downloads people are getting. There's so much information. So you have to remember, like, Albert Einstein channeled. Whom else? So the inventor of antibiotics, the inventor of, I don't know, the light bulb and planes and the motor vehicles and all these things that we have to offer us an easier life has been channeled by a higher source. And there's so many of us now who are clearing out old beliefs, old conditionings, old ways of doing things, and we're evolving into different people, different energies, where it will never be the same. So I feel like part of the message this week is rise up into this new person. Rise up and own who you are. So many times I would feel like I'm too much, I'm too deep, I'm too lit up, I'm too much. And that was the thing that I had to work on, and just being who I am. Clearly I'm a deep person, and I had to sit with the word self-acceptance and sit with the self-love on a higher, deeper level. And I say higher and deeper, it's really the same thing. So many of us are in this place of transformation and transcendence, but it's happening on such a subtle level. It's like you don't realize it's happening until you look back and you're like, wow, I am a completely different person. And so I feel like this week, Lord Shiva comes up because he wants you to kind of reflect upon your transformation and how far you've come up until this point. It's so easy to fall into the sadness, the frustration, the emotional pain, but you have to understand that that is your power. And when you can find the pathway, the theme, the repetitive things that keep coming out in and out of your life. So I, for example, have repetitive patterns of people who portray a certain, they have certain characteristics or certain tendencies. And it can be everywhere in my life, with past relationships and friendships and teachers and clients. There's this repetition of experience that I keep having. And it is those experiences that give me an opportunity to go deeper within and saying, okay, what am I projecting out, or what are my thought patterns that keeps recreating the same situation? And so many of you have been having these experiences like, oh my gosh, here it is again. I'm tired of this happening. And in that, there's a transformation process. It gives you an opportunity to go into spiritual growth and spiritual development. This is why I think it's so important. You know, I call myself like an intuitive life coach, but it's so much deeper than that. And the work that I do with my coaching is more spiritual transcendence. It's really digging into, like, we basically get to the root. There's no fluff with the sessions. We get to the root, we shine a light on the shadow, and then there's like a pathway and a map on how to move forward. And so I feel like Lord Shiva is coming in today and just seeing, just letting you know that you're not alone, that you have this inner guidance and inner wisdom that is channeling through you, that's working through you. So, you know, all these powerful people, all these inventors had to be open with their intuition on a level to be able to hear and then take action on the information that was coming to them. So I feel like Lord Shiva is coming in a way saying, you know, pay attention to the thoughts and the ideas that you're having. It is a pathway. It is a guide to where you're going. But if you're not stopping and listening, or if you're not creating space enough to, if you're not creating space to hear it and then time to take action, it's like you're going to have all these amazing ideas that can live and die within the mind. So let me go a little further. So Lord Shiva, let me just, you know what I want to do? I just want to check the book here real quick. These masters are relatively new to me, so I just want to double check. Yeah, so see, it says, Lord Shiva is with you right now to awaken your sense of connection to life itself. You are moving through a deep transition, and things will be clearer from this point. You will know exactly what you need to do and where you need to be. This is a powerful time, as you will transcend the limitations that others have set upon you. Yeah, so it goes along with all the messages that I've channeled, which is great to know that I'm channeling the information in the correct way. It says it's a time of innovation, ideas, stargazing, soul traveling, and soul revealing. Shiva, the Lord of Dance, is here with the sacred sound of Om to lead the way. So calling up a YouTube video that's the chanting of the Om can even be beneficial for you as well. So right now you're in this flow of doing a dance with the universe. It's interesting. Last night, so I've been kind of like a hermit and in a cocoon for quite some time, and I've been getting these feelings like, okay, it's time to get out. It's time to get out. It's time to go meet people. It's time to have some fun. And I had a friend who messaged me yesterday, and I just decided to go out. And what was so interesting was I was starting to get anxiety about going out before we were going. I was getting ready and I was getting all anxious and these fears were coming up. And I gave myself some time to kind of sit with it and remind myself that, you know, this is supposed to be fun. And, you know, I just was able to kind of calm myself. But I called on the Archangel Michael and I asked my guides to kind of just keep me safe and protected, you know, throughout the night. And it's so interesting because this is a friend I haven't seen in a while. And we go to the place that, you know, we were going to, we were going to go to listen to a band and dance and just, you know, have a fun night. And we walk into the place and we walked over to get a drink, and there was a man that was sitting, you know, at the stools, and he looked at us and he said, "Do you want me to move over one?" And I looked at him and I was like, sure, that would be great. So he moved over a space so that we could both sit down because that area was full. And I kind of laughed at the synchronicities in that moment of the time I went in to go pick her up, to go in her house, for us to leave, for us to drive there, to park the car, to get in. It was almost like that man was like holding space for us. Obviously, he didn't, unbeknownst to him. And we kind of just sat there and you know, while the band kind of like warmed up and stuff, we had some time to sit and talk and catch up, and the night was just really easy. And then we were just like, all right, let's go dance. And then we just kind of danced most of the night. I think, I don't know, she counted, I think like 2,000 or 3,000 steps or something in the time frame that we were there and dancing. And then we left, and nobody was on the road when we left, and it was just a perfect night. So life doesn't have to all be spiritual. It doesn't all have to be connected into something. You can go out and integrate into the world and you can have some fun, but bring your guides with you. So I feel like that's what the universe is saying. You know, it might be time to get out with friends. Oh, there's some braking. I don't know if you hear that, but there's some loud brakes outside from a truck. Anyway, trying to stop, I guess. And so we're in the space where we're being asked to go out and have some fun, but know that your guides are always with you, and do this dance with the universe. Just show up with an open heart and allow the universe to unfold for you in magical ways. All right, let's get an extended message from Lord Shiva, the Oracle of Angels. So we're going to use these. All right, Lord Shiva, give us another message. Let's see. Let's expand on that. Okay, let's go with this one. Learning. So interestingly enough, 2 + 3 = 5. 5 is about change. And I feel like this card is saying right now you're learning. You're learning about the person that you are becoming. You're learning about people around you. You're learning about your wants and needs. And it's really important to have patience with yourself. I think I've said this before in other videos, but life is like school. You know, we have experiences, we're learning, and then it's like we have homework, and then there's a test or a pop quiz. And we need to make sure that we know the information before we move on to another level, not for punishment, because the next level will be harder if you don't know. So I feel like the universe is saying you're in this process of spiritual growth and you're learning. And everybody's dance with the spirit is different. Everybody's ability to channel, everybody's pathway of connecting with their intuition, it's all different and it's all learning. So I feel like I feel like the words I want to say with this message is have patience. You're learning. You're learning how to navigate in this new energy. There's so much talk about this new earth and the new vibration, and we're just talking about higher levels of information, empowerment, tapping into the inner knowledge and wisdom within. We were all born at the time we were born to access the energy that is being presented to us right now. I hope this is not too deep. Again, take in what resonates, but I feel like this is a message to know that you're learning right now. If many of you have had children, you know that there's this degree of patience and there's this process that they use to learn something, whether it's to color in the lines, whether it's multiplication tables, whether it's learning how to write a sentence. There's a process to everything. And I feel like Lord Shiva is saying, call on him to help you with your own process, with the steps. If you have not started making changes in your life, you are going to have to, you're going to be pushed. You know, it's one of those things that, you know, life is going to keep moving. And if there are reoccurring thoughts and patterns and experiences that you're having, I feel like the universe is saying, you know, we want this for you so bad that we have to kind of push you out of that space, but know that you're learning. So this might be a week of action for a lot of people. I know we've been talking about resting and time outs and going within, and I feel like we're going to start being asked to really put our best foot forward and put things in motion. It's almost going to probably be undeniable for you, like that part of that learning. And look at this book. See this book? It's kind of like the book of knowledge, the book of wisdom. And I feel like the universe is saying right now, this book is open for you. It's open for you to access. It kind of reminds me of the Akashic Records, although I don't work. Although I've never taken a training in Akashic Records, let's say, I'm sure I channel from the Akashic Records. But I feel like this is saying right now, in this moment, you have this open book. You have this access to this knowledge and wisdom that may or may not be open forever. And so the universe is giving you permission to tap into it. I cannot say enough good things about meditation. I cannot say enough good things about stillness and quiet and creating good habits in that space. You know, I've had to learn the hard way how important it is. And I feel like right now, Lord Shiva is saying there's this transcendent process right now. Try not to get caught up in the external world, in the have-tos and the shoulds. That's not what I want to say. Try not to cancel, delete. Try not to get caught in the external world that's pulling you outside of yourself. Keep bringing your energy back to yourself. Because remember, who you are and the talents and the knowledge and wisdom that's within you is what the world needs right now. The world doesn't need more anger and aggression and projecting and drama. And so please, I implore you to really step out of that space and look at yourself and ask how you can contribute to comfort, support, teach, and inspire. How are you learning from others? How are you able to be a teacher for others? All right, let me get some messages here from the Work Your Light. This is a cool deck. These are beautiful. I just got these too. All right, let's tap into her energy. I feel like we're on like another whole level of energy, another whole vibration. Oops, let's pull this one. I feel like we're in another whole space outside of what I've been channeling. Play. Wasn't I just saying that? Go out and dance, connect with friends. There has to be a balance for spiritual work, quote unquote work, and play. And there's nothing wrong with going out and playing with the universe, kind of getting into that mainstream world. So this message says, have fun, celebrate, and don't be so serious. Now, I can kind of fall into that trap of being serious and the responsible one. Clearly, with my chart and all the moon energy and the mother energy, I can fall into that responsible role. So I feel like the universe is saying, play this week. Go out and have some fun. Maybe you're pulling out a board game with your kid, or maybe you're taking out a coloring book, or maybe you're in a space where you can get a friend to go out with you, or maybe your spouse. Maybe you guys have just been kind of caught up in the have-tos and shoulds, and the universe is just saying, go out and play. So I just want to see what the book says here. So the work your light action in this book says, express yourself, share your voice, speak to those who can hear you. It says you're being called to share your voice, perhaps by speaking up in a relationship or through writing, speaking, singing, or some other form of creative expression. Hey, any karaoke people out there? Go out and shine. It says we each hold a truth deep within us that longs to be expressed. Oh, I love this. We were just talking about this. It says sculpted for lifetimes, the voice of your soul is like no other. It carries with it wisdom that can only be gained through soul history and growth. By remembering, tapping into, and expressing this unique tone, we not only heal ourselves, but we also heal the planet at large. Oh my God, I love the validation. This is exactly what I was just saying with Lord Shiva and learning, but you can access it through play and having fun. So you can find your own voice and your own energy. So when I got home last night, I remember just kind of sitting there for a few minutes and just soaking in, like, man, that was really fun. It felt really fun to get out and dance and sing and just be with other people who are dancing and singing and just out having a good time. It just felt good. So in that moment of pause, after the fun, I asked God and my guides to bring me more of that, experiences like that in my life, or something even better. And it's interesting because I've gotten a few other invitations just today alone and throughout the week of just play. So once you set that intention, again, practice discernment with the type of play you're saying yes to. It says, as we shed the layers of our personality and start letting our unique soul speak through us, we discover that we actually have a very clear message that longs to be shared. The more we speak it, the clearer it gets. You know, and it's the same thing with me doing these card readings and doing the work that I've been doing. So I've been doing this work for, I'm going into my 12th year. And I remember I was doing a group at a house, and the lady was, Gladys, we've heard amazing things about you. And I was like, oh, well, you know, I've been doing, and she asked me about my journey. I was like, oh, I've been doing this for 11 years or something. And she goes, really? She's like, how come we haven't heard about you? And I kind of laughed. And that was me. That was me putting myself in a cocoon, in this safe space, not wanting to come out for fear of persecution, for fear of like being exposed, for this intuition or this guidance that can be taboo for some people. And it just got to the point where I was just like, I have to expand my reach. I have to put these messages and share the insight I get to more people. So in that, I have to work on my own stuff, right? And I feel like part of this card is asking you to shine your light. You're going to be asked to kind of put yourself out there in new ways. And unfortunately, your family and your friends and the people who have known you may not want you to change. They may not want you to grow. Now, I'm not telling you to just start axing people in your life, because that's not kind. But what you can do is just get busy doing the things that you want to do with the people you want to do them with. And then in that, the pathway opens up and the universe can bring more of that in your life. There's this saying that your life right now is a product of your thoughts and what you've been thinking and the energy you're putting out. And so I've been doing a lot of inner work. I've been really mindful of the people that I'm surrounding myself and the type of experiences that I want. And I have to say I'm in a really good place. But I can tell you it's because I've been doing I'm putting a lot of energy towards that which I do want. So right now, if you're not enjoying the experience of your life, ask yourself, like, what repetitive thoughts do I keep putting out there? So for me, it's a lack of vibration, lack of there's not enough, there's not enough, there's not enough. And that goes back to just conditioning, being raised in the way I was raised with, a single mom. And, I had to started working when I was 15, which was great because now I have my own business and my work ethic is stellar and I'm just in a good place with that. But there is this energy of not enough. We live in a small state if you're here in Rhode Island, and there's this energy sometimes of not enough. It's small. And, a lot of times, we've been raised and maybe you've got a big family, and even that, there's this energy of not enough. And I feel like God is coming in and saying, but there's so much. It's so plentiful. If you can just tap into the abundance vibration, it can be powerful for you. So I want to expand on the message. Wow, it's going to be a long reading today, so I'm just going to keep going. So let's tap into moon energy. Full moon in a couple days. I was driving here. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I channel this on Saturday. You're listening to it on a Sunday, so it's available for you in the morning. So subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell, and you'll get the notification when it comes out. I try to post it in the morning on Sundays, but I don't always get to post it on social media until like later. So, all right, let's see. Moon energy. What message do you have for us? Let's see. Cards are a little sticky. Oh, your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. I love this. So I can tend to be a fly-by-night kind of girl, figure it out as I go, and I've learned that doesn't always work out well for me. And I feel like the universe is saying that your dreams need a practical plan. So some of you may be struggling with the how. Some of you may be struggling with the problem solving. How can I get more of this? Or how can I access this? And I feel like this moon energy is asking you to sit down and focus energy. So what I'm getting from this is you need a practical plan. For me, I almost feel like you need to sit down and really focus your energy and your time and make sure it is becoming lucrative for you. Like where you're putting your thoughts and your energy is something that's part of your plan, and that's going to be pro you. How are you spending your time? Are you spending your time sitting in front of TV or social media, stuck in the drama? Are you utilizing your time with people who are lifting you up and celebrating you? Are you creating a plan for yourself that is including, your family members and sacred space for yourself and time for laughter and fun? I feel like for some of you, this card is saying you may need to rethink things if it's not working out for you. Now, that doesn't mean don't do it. I just feel like it means to shift energy and create more of a plan. So, for example, what's coming to mind, I used to follow this couple on social media, and they have 4 kids, and they're growing this marketing business. And they would talk about how every Sunday they would sit down and talk about, okay, what kid has what on what night, what dinners are going to be, when the babysitter is going to be there, who's traveling. So it was never a surprise as to what was happening and who needed to be where. And that was kind of their way to kind of sit down and focus energy on every Sunday and set a plan. So I feel like this card is saying to some of you to do that, to sit down, find a time or space. Sundays are always great, unless you're working, or a day off is usually great to sit down and saying, okay, what action steps do I need to take? What needs to get done this week? Sometimes they'll be like, okay, what bills need to be paid? So I feel like this is saying, like, if you feel like you're scattered and you feel like you're not getting the things that you need to done, it may be time for you to sit down and create a practical plan for yourself. I have a structured schedule. I have a lot of uncertainty in my life, clearly, with not really knowing what message is going to come through for people, who's going to come through my door, what's going to be said. So I have to create balance with certainty, and a certainty is when I eat, how I eat, what days I have off, how I rest, my night routine, my morning routine. I have to create structure, and they've just become habitual for me, and I feel much more grounded. I feel much more balanced, and I feel like my intuition is even more on point because of it. So again, if you're feeling scattered all over the place, you feel like you don't know what you're doing, this card, I feel like, is saying you need to maybe sit down and create a better structure for yourself. I don't like we'll use the word discipline, because earth angels will rebel against discipline. So just creating structure or more certainty in your life will be beneficial. All right, so let's finish with the unicorns. Let's get some awesome energy from unicorns. Unis. Oh, let's go this one. This one kind of flew out. Let's see. Delight. We've gotten this card before. It says, count your blessings and enjoy life. Play. You're transforming. You're learning. Have fun. It says, take pleasure in simple things. Always expect the best. Again, this is like, I feel like these are like wishes, and it's like 1 wish, 2 wishes, 3. So I always think of, like, when I see like blowing, when you're blowing a dandelion, I think that's what this is, a dandelion. You're like blowing wishes, and they're like multiple wishes. And so I feel like they're saying, find the delight in play, find the delight in, what's the word? I just lost it there. You know what? Maybe this week it is focusing on energy on things that bring you joy. Maybe it's being mindful or checking in with how you're having fun, what's making you laugh. You may even realize that there may not be a lot of that in your life. But it says count your blessings and enjoy your life. Lighten up. I feel like that's a word too. Lighten up. I can be really serious sometimes and get too focused in work and energy. So I feel like this unicorn is coming in with the play energy. This really just sums it up. Have some fun this week. Know that you're learning, you're transitioning, you're learning. You may need to kind of restructure things and create more of a practical plan for yourself, but don't forget to play and have fun and just celebrate the life that you have. I have to say, so these little things, enjoy the little things and expect the best. I love soda water. I have a soda stream, and I love that first sip of my soda water when I go and I refill it. I love that first sip of coffee in the morning. I love my coffee. It's delicious. I love to get into my car and sit down for a moment. My car, I just love my car. It just takes me everywhere. It's comfortable. It's fun to be in. It's fun to drive. I love my bed. I love my sheets. I love the TV shows that I'm watching. I love to just stand outside with the sun on my face. I love to feel the wind on my skin. I love to look at my dog, look at the sun. I like to cuddle with him. You see all these little things? This is gratitude. This is seeing the small things. I love the signs that I get. I love, you know, even on the way here, I saw 77, I saw 33. I love the signs that I get from the universe. And so I'm in such a sacred space of gratitude that it's fun. It makes me laugh. So I feel like that's the message this week. Be mindful of, as you're going through these changes and these transitions, the universe wants it to not be all work and no play. So I feel like this is going to be a reminder of let Ganesh remove the obstacles for you. That's this guy right here. You know, ignite the light within, laugh and play, and just find the humor in yourself. All right, that was a long one this week. Man, I just want to see if there's anything else. I think that's it. All right, so let me close space by thanking God, source, creator of the universe, all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, all holy beings of light that assisted with this guidance for you today, for this week. And I'm going to ask that any healing that was started continue for as long as it needs to be done, in mind, body, spirit, and emotions in all ways. And so it is. All right, friends, so it looks like March 31st, save the date, from 10 to 4, I'm going to be holding a an oracle card class. I mentioned it in a few videos ago, and I got a bunch of responses from people who are interested. So I haven't completely locked it in yet, but loosely an oracle card class will be on March 31st. It will be held in North Providence. It will probably be 10 to 4, and it'll be $125 a person. I will have a ton of my oracle cards, so you don't have to go out and get any. But if you wanted to bring your angel oracle cards, you could do that. And we're going to work on intuition, tuning into the cards, learning how to attune yourself to your own decks. This is a class that's going to be for beginners. And it's also going to be a class for people who have been working with cards and want to deepen their relationship with it. So everybody's going to have a takeaway. And I think the fun part of doing a class like this is when you're in an energy where everybody's channeling and everybody's tuning in and getting messages, it's going to be amazing to watch the repetitive messages that happen, the repeated cards that keep coming up. This is one of my favorite things to do and to get a group together because it is totally driven by the divine and the synchronicities and the way the people come together and the people who sit next to each other and the messages that come out. It really is transformative. So like I said, I will be posting that soon, so stay connected with me at Growing with Gladys on Instagram or Heavenly Hugs on Facebook, and I will be posting an event, and right now it looks like it'll be on March 31st from 10 to 4, and the cost will be $125. I think I'm going to do something where you can pay half now and pay half later if money is a thing for you, or you can make a deposit and pay the rest the day of class. I'm trying to be flexible with the payments, but like I said, it will be fun for everybody. I'm most excited to see how the group unfolds. There will probably be a maximum maximum of 20 seats available. I don't want it to be too full because I want to be able to give time and energy to the cards and the readings that people are getting. So think of it as a day of channeling and doing readings for yourself and getting insight on top of learning how to attune yourself to the deck, learning about intuition and what that means. You know, that's why I feel like it'll be a full day class. So yeah, that's my announcements. And so if you have not heard it today, friends, I love you. God loves you. Trust in the divine. Trust in your intuition. And I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.